Today is the day everything could change. I've trusted this carnivore diet for the last 6 months. Every meal, every choice, all in the name of healing. But today, it's no longer about how I feel, it's about what my blood work will reveal. Am I truly on the right path, or am I missing something deeper? The answers are here, and they may change everything. All right, guys, let's get to it. What's up, everybody? Okay, so today is my 6 to 7 month update where I stand, the good, the bad, and the ugly with the carnivore diet and how it's been impacting me. I'll tell you guys all about my blood work. I'm gonna tell you guys how my skin is doing 6, 7 months into the process and the trajectory of carnivore. Like, am I gonna stay carnivore? Am I not? In light of what we're gonna look at, okay? So this is gonna be more of a sit down chat, grab a cup of coffee. I might be all over the place, but I promise you stay with me, it'll be worth it, okay? If you're one of the few, this is the channel for you. I'm Victoria, and I've been making eczema and carnivore related content for the last 6, 7 months now. So anyway, moving into it, let's just start with the blood work, because that is what everyone's interested in. What does your blood work look like at 6, 7 months as carnivore? And let me just tell you out of the gate, my cholesterol was high. See, let me pull it up here, what it was at. So my cholesterol, and pro tip, if you get your blood work done, I know a lot of us have no clue what those numbers mean, no clue what this, this marker, that marker. If you put it all into our good friend, Dr. ChatGPT, and then ask it to make you sort of like an image to explain it all, and that is so helpful. That is what I have here. That is what I did. Okay, so as we can see, my cholesterol was 6.45 whatever, which is elevated. My non-HDL was 4.95. My HDL itself was 1.58. So of course, when I went to my doctor, she was like, if you're not careful, Vic, in the next couple of years, you're going to be on a statin. Now, I have not told my doctor that I'm a carnivore. I'm not saying for you to do that. Preface, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a girlie on the internet sharing her story. However, I kind of wanted to see her perspective, not knowing that I'm a carnivore. I don't want to say that I'm a carnivore and then it just becomes biased, like everything. Because I'm going to tell you about something that happened with my blood work later that literally had nothing to do with carnivore. But if I had told her I was carnivore, she would have just said that's what it is, and we wouldn't have done further studying or looking into it. So I've just personally chosen not to tell my doctor that, but I'm not saying that that's the case for you. I felt like I was in good enough health to support a choice like that. Please, you do what's best for you, boo. But okay, so the cholesterol is high. Now, I didn't go into carnivore with a lot of weight to lose. I also didn't already have high cholesterol. A lot of times when you are slimmer and you don't have high cholesterol to begin, once you go carnivore, it does elevate. It's called like lean mass hyperresponder or something like that. I don't know. But people that tend to be overweight or already had elevated cholesterol, when they go carnivore, that drops. So I was prepared, and I think you should be prepared too, especially if you are a slimmer individual, for your cholesterol to be elevated. And for whatever reason in this world, there is a push for low fat, low cholesterol. Like, that's what they push. Meanwhile, all these other diseases are on the rise. But that's not what this video is about. So my cholesterol was high. It's fine. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not worried, because the rest of my blood is like perfect. And it was interesting that my doctor wasn't interested in talking about that. Let's move on to the issue of my blood work that we could have blamed carnivore for, but this wasn't a carnivore issue. I had high ferritin. Ferritin is not high iron. A lot of people think that it is high iron, but ferritin is kind of like it's like the storage box that holds iron. So imagine you just have like a closet filled with a bunch of boxes and they're all designated for iron. I have a lot of that. That doesn't necessarily mean that my iron itself was too high. There's so many reasons why someone could have high ferritin. It could be, obviously, yes, you have an all-meat diet. It could be inflammation. It could be because you were sick. Now, I actually had high ferritin this time last year before I ever went carnivore. And when I had it this time last year, the thought was, oh, maybe I was sick. So we just sort of overlooked it and we kept it pushing. Fast forward, now I've taken it again and I do have high ferritin, it's raised significantly, and we even retook it and it raised again. As you can see, what Chatty has said, that my high ferritin could likely be genetic, but we did do follow-up testing to make sure it wasn't any other nefarious or scary thing, but it literally had nothing to do with my diet. So, but I just know that if I had gone in saying I'm a carnivore, they would have just been like, oh yeah, stop eating meat, and you know. So that's why I didn't choose to do that. I think the reasoning for my high ferritin has to do with my eczema. It is like a low level amount of inflammation, and that's gonna move me to this part of how is my eczema doing. And guys, right now I'm great, but I was not great. I would say for the last month, I've been struggling significantly. It started a little bit before I went to Japan, which I'm gonna do a whole travel vlog and how to be a carnivore while you travel. It is possible. I did it. I had a wonderful time in Japan last month. I even got to meet our dear, infamous Dave Mack, and it was great. It was great. But my skin was not great. And so I'm like, what is really going on? Like, I went carnivore for my skin. I didn't really go carnivore for any of the other benefits, although I am grateful. I'm grateful for the energy. I'm grateful for, you know, my stomach being flat. I'm grateful for not having to worry about my weight fluctuating. Like, there's so many great things, but my why has always been my skin. So about a month ago, I did start to notice my skin was not doing so well. And, I thought at first it was because I did a little oopsies and I ate some it's called bun and cheese. It's a Jamaican thing. Comment down below if you know what bun and cheese is. I didn't have the cheese, I just had the bun, but it's like flour and sugar. Like, let's just call it what it is. And it's like a traditional thing that we eat around Easter time. And someone made like a homemade one, and I was like, let me just try it. So I had a slice, and I will say that from that point forward, I had a reaction. So I kind of put it that it was probably that. And I didn't continue to eat that. I just had my one day of bun and cheese, and then I moved on. But my skin started to act up. And so I figured, okay, it must be that. And then I went to Japan, and I was good. I didn't eat anything that I shouldn't have. No terms, like, I didn't eat any rice. I didn't eat anything, no candy, no treats, no bubble tea, no, I don't know what else, like no Japanese cheesecake. Like, your girl only had meat in my next video, but my skin did not like it there, which surprised me because Japan is an island surrounded by ocean water. I don't know, is it the Pacific Ocean? Maybe my skin just doesn't like the Pacific Ocean air, but we had a hard time over there. I had a lot of inflammation. And when I came home, my face was a mess. I woke up looking like how I looked day one of carnivore again. And that was a hard moment for me because I'm like, I've done all this and I look like this still. And it just puts you in between a rock and a hard place. Like, if you are going carnivore for your health and then you don't notice your health get better, or you feel like you're taking steps back, you feel so trapped, because I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now then? Like, what am I supposed to eat? Like, I can't go back to eating Cinnabons. I know that that's not good for me. But then, like, what is? And you do all this research. Like, I've learned so much now about like vegetables and the anti-nutrients in them. And like, I can't eat a flippin' thing. Like, I don't know. Guys, just hold up. I feel like the lighting is doing a thing.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Nope, that's not what we want. Ooh, I don't want that either.
Okay, if the lighting has changed, well, it's because it changed. So anyway, definitely skin took a nosedive. And so what I decided to do when I got back from Japan was to go lion. And I also have like that video coming up where it's 30 days of lion. I'm still on it, and I'm just gonna walk you guys through the process of, that was kind of like, I knew probably desperate times call for desperate measures. I am not a carnivore purist. I'm not a lion diet type of gal. Like, I don't want to do it, but I do understand that sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures, and that's all I could think of because there's nothing else I could really do. So I went lion, and as you guys can see, this is since going lion. I've been a lion diet on the lion-ish. I'm gonna call it the lioness diet. Lion-ish diet for the last 7 days, and well, I'm looking a hell of a lot better. So I do think that carnivore is still for the win. The million dollar question, will I stay carnivore? And as it stands right now, I would. I don't really know what another alternative is for my health. That's what I get frustrated. Like, I'm not married to any diet, okay? At the end of the day, I think it's important to keep an open mind in life and look into things, do your research, and ultimately do whatever's working for you. If someone comes up on here and tells me they went vegetarian and their apps, it healed everything in their life, who in the world am I to tell them that that's not true, or that's not working, or that, like, if it works, then it works, right? I've just tried all those other things and they didn't work. So then coming up, 6-7 months and my face started blowing up, I'm like, dang. And this is frustrating because I'm up on here on the internet, tooting the whole carnivore diet. And then meanwhile, my face is blowing up. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a pain in the neck. So anyway, I figured, let me just dial it in. Let's go lioness and see what happens. And spoiler alert, it's been good, but I'm not completely eczema free. So, and I've never been eczema free. My eczema has gotten like 90% better, but let me just be clear, I have not been eczema free since going carnivore, but I just don't look like what I used to by leaps and bounds. And I've been trying to figure out what that possibly could be, like why, So that's my update there with my skin. I think thankfully the lion diet has brought the equilibrium back, like the balance is back. I look a little bit more normal again, so I'm feeling more pro carnivore. But I will be honest, I was having a moment, definitely having a moment, and I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. And I just felt really discouraged. I'm keeping my electrolyte. My skin has just been very dry, just itchy, not itself. I also used a different cream. It could have been that too. And as I said, I'm gonna get into that in another video when I go through my whole lioness series, but this is just a quick 6-7 month update. Okay, so lastly, another thing that I've been noticing is I just wasn't feeling well. And this is hard to share. This is hard to share because, as I said, we come on here and we're pro carnivore, right? I am pro carnivore in the end. I do think that this is a wonderful diet and it's done so much for me, but I will be honest, in the last month, I haven't been feeling as great. I haven't been feeling as energetic. I haven't been feeling all the things that I was feeling. And so that means one of two things. Either the diet is not working, or I have to reassess and reevaluate what I've been doing, what I've been eating. Maybe my dietary needs have changed. And so the choices that I've been making is that I've changed the type of collagen that I take, because I did notice maybe I was developing a sensitivity to the collagen that I was already taking. I've been eating way more fat. If you guys didn't know, because of eczema, I can't have like butter, although I miss it, and occasionally I still will have some, but the butter doesn't work and the dairy doesn't work for me, and I don't get to have eggs either. So my version of carnivore starts to get a little bit limited, especially nutritionally, and that could be why I started to feel like garbage. So I got myself, I've been eating beef tallow, and I've been eating gelatin, like grass-fed gelatin, like making my own jello, which I love. I love the texture of jello. So that's especially to support my skin health. I've also started making my own electrolytes with something called low salt, and then all the other things like magnesium. And the reason for low salt, I had a carnivore meetup. Oh my gosh, I have so much to share, and it's just, we don't have enough time for this. But anyway, one of the people that came to my meetup, they actually shared how low salt usually has high potassium. So that's a great, you can add that to your water. Let me drink. I've been making more electrolytes, making my own electrolytes now on top of it. And I'm hoping between like tripling the amount of fat I eat and genuine fat from the meat, like a lot of beef trimmings, beef fat trimmings. I just pop those in the air fryer, put a little, seasoning. You can use steak seasoning or like a little salt, and very, very good. And so I'm hoping, as I said, I've only been doing this lion diet for the last week, and I've seen a turnaround in the last week. So I am pro carnivore in terms of how it's helped my skin. Now, in the last week, I have not noticed my energy coming back up. I do feel lower energy than usual, and I have been getting a little bit of brain fog again. I don't know. Now, I live in cold Canada. If you are from Canada, comment down below. There is like seasonal depression and just the fact that, you know, it's cold here, there's no sun, vitamin D, blah, blah, blah. I haven't been taking my vitamin D supplements. So that could, like, there's so many things. And this is what I want to stress. Just because you run into problems on your carnivore diet, it doesn't always mean it's the diet itself. Now, if I adjust things and I still notice I'm not well, there is a possibility it is my diet. You know, the carnivore police, there's going to be people that are going to say it's impossible, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I would hope, my hope is that if I adjust things adequately, I can feel good again. And, but as it stands right now, I haven't been feeling the best. And maybe I do, as my water needs maybe have changed, those types of things. I'm also noticing my coffee, when I take drink my coffee in the morning, it's not waking me up, which that's unfortunate because I'm a big coffee girly. So anyway, I'll let you guys know on my 8-month update how I'm feeling with these like new adjustments that I'm making. But I just wanted to be honest that, you know, it hasn't solved all my problems. Like since going carnivore, yes, I do ultimately feel better than I used to. I still have been sleeping great, so that's good. I sleep great, you know, for the most part, you have clarity of mind, clarity of thought. My emotions are quite stable. Actually, like real quick, the whole emotional thing, I think is like underrated and not talked about enough, but there's been so many different hard things that I've had to go through, and it's weird. It's like I don't get emotional about them, and I definitely think that's like a benefit of being in ketosis or a carnivore diet thing. Definitely think so. But that has been, I would say, a constant pro since going carnivore. I haven't felt like my ups and downs. When I had the sugar or like the bun and cheese thing a month ago, the very next day, I felt like my whole mood dropped. I felt grumpy. I felt irritated. I felt like every little thing was going to set me off. That's my first time I felt like that in months. So I definitely will still say good job, carnivore, for keeping my emotions stable. But yeah, I don't know, this low mood, low energy. I don't know where it's coming from. I also do not exercise. I don't like to exercise. I need to get more active. So don't listen to this and then just be like, oh my gosh, see, the diet doesn't work. But there are other things that I might not be doing that could be contributing to why I'm not feeling completely optimal. And I do just think at 6-7 months into the diet, perhaps, as I said, my nutritional needs have changed and I need to adjust with that. And that can happen on any diet you're on. That can happen, like, our bodies are always changing. I just turned 40 in February. Maybe my needs for fat, my needs for whatever needs I have, maybe that have changed. I think what sucks is that you have to sort of like figure out how, like what that is. You don't know. And that tinkering around can be annoying. And there is this belief that because I'm doing this, it should just heal me. Like I should be healed by now. Like that's what I thought. So the fact that I'm at this point and everything is not perfect is a bit annoying, but you know, you still have to like take things in context, and there is no like fix all for everything. It has been years of me eating not the best, or, you know, having eczema. I can't expect it to all disappear in 6 months. I could also my body might be starting to oxalate dump again, you know, at the 6 months point. Like there could be so many different reasons. So I'm just going to drink water and eat meat and hope for the best. So stay tuned for I have a whole series coming out, the Lioness series, which is going to basically just be me on the lion diet and how that's been impacting my health. And look out for my trip to Japan. And thank you guys so much for listening to my 6-7 month update. Stay tuned for my future ones. And as usual, eat meat, drink water.